These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another How About Them Celtics video. Sam and I are here recording Tuesday, March 19th, and we are talking about Jayson Tatum and LeBron James' comments on him. A reminder before we get going to leave a like on the video and subscribe to How About Them Celtics. We'd appreciate a bunch, and comment what's popping in the comments below for a chance to win a $10 gift card. Also, sign up for Prize Picks, CLNS at checkout for deposit matching. All right, LeBron James talked about Jayson Tatum on his new podcast with JJ Redick. A clip came out. Noah Delzell tweeted it because she tweets everything because she's a psycho. So here is shout out Noah. Noah's awesome too.
Content is up. She will be there no matter what.
Respect. So thank you to Noah for letting us watch this. But let's take a look at what he had to say.
I mean, there's a great saying that says the best teacher in life is experience as well. And we look at Tatum. I mean, he's 25 years old. He's 25 years old, and I believe he's been to the conference finals 4 times. Been to obviously the NBA finals once. He's 25. I didn't win my first one until I was 28. I think Joker won his first one at 27. I think MJ was 28 as well.
Kobe without Shaq was around
the
same age.
Yeah. So
Steph was
I think we have we have a lot of expectations on JT, but he's experienced a lot of winning in his career so far. And obviously we everyone wants to see him get over the hump, but 4 conference finals in a finals appearance before the age of 26 that's elite. And like you just said, he's continued to grow, and they are in a position where they can make another title run. And like you said, personnel helps. Adam Porzingis and getting Drew for a bag of Lay's potato chips, that helps as well. that helps as well. But JT is definitely when you go and you start scouting for Boston, he's the number 1 guy for sure.
That is a bold statement.
What, the Lay's bag of potato chips?
No, him saying when you scout the Celtics, Tatum is the first guy you look at.
Well, he is.
You think so, LeBron?
Statement.
Yeah, being sarcastic. Don't you think you would look at Tatum first? The bag of chips thing was actually controversial. I saw people online getting pissed about that, by the way. They were they're like, really? Malcolm Brogdon, 6th man of the year? Bag of chips. Rob Williams, 2 seasons off all defensive selection. Bag of chips. Marcus, 2 seasons off defensive player of the year. Bag of chips.
Well, it wasn't Marcus. Like, Marcus wasn't the Drew trade.
Well, he was part of the thing that got them the pick they sent to Portland.
You can't count that though. You can't because then if you start doing that, then you're like, oh well, this guy was part of this trade 3 years ago because he came this. You just got to do 1-for-1 trade. It's still like an aggressive statement because Malcolm Brogdon's a good player, Rob's a good player, but if you look at how things have played out, like the Celtics traded 2 of their own picks and one of their own picks and 1 pick that wasn't even theirs that they just got extra.
Won.
Brogdon, who's a good player but nowhere close to the defender and leader, and then Rob, who is hurt again. So I get where LeBron's coming from. Like in terms of 1-to-1 value, like on the court, what the Celtics need to compete right now, effectively kind of is like a bag of potato chips compared to what Drew brings to the table. But as far as the Tatum thing, I think it's true to a degree. Like obviously Boston fans hold their players to a higher standard, which is a good thing. It means they care.
Me included, respect. Obviously.
Yeah, of course. But when you do think about it in the context of Jokic was 27 when he won, LeBron was 28, Jordan was 28, these players were this, and the obvious clapback to that is, well, Tatum's had better teams than those guys did when they were young. Yeah, but he's also gone up against really good teams as well. I think there's a balance to it. And I don't think it's fair to completely discredit Tatum. And I do think this is going to make me sound like the most generic talk show host, but with the internet nowadays, it is very much a toxic, if you don't win, you lose, you're bad, right? If you haven't won a title, you're bad. And until you win a title, you're a terrible player, which is come on, there's got to be a little bit more.
It's facts.
You can hold someone to a high standard while also admitting that Tatum is one of the best players in the world. He just hasn't won yet.
No, I wrote about this LeBron thing for Celtics blog today. I don't know if it's up yet by the time that this short is out, but I went in, I was like, well, yeah, he is elite. And it's funny because a month ago, there was the whole Tatum might be the MVP stuff going on. And then you had Wendy come out and be like, everyone says he's not the MVP because the finals a couple years ago and he was bad, so he can't be MVP. And LeBron was like, well, yeah, but like look at all this stuff. And this is Wendy's guy, LeBron, coming at him. Look at all the stuff he's done. 4 conference finals and a finals appearance. Yeah. Can you go back and go through all of them and be like, probably should have made the finals all the times? You absolutely could. Like 18 probably should have finished off the game 7. 2020 they should have beat Miami. 22 they did go, and then last year they should have went. So it's tough to be like, oh, that was such a great result when you feel like you could have got over the hump. But when you take a step back and you're not really involved in it and you're like, wow, look at Tatum. Not everybody's doing that. Not everybody's going to the conference finals. Not everybody's having deep playoff runs every single year and also showing up in big spots along the way to get their team to where they're at. 2022, there's the Bucks game 6 with 46 points. Last year, there's the fourth quarter in game 6 in Philly, then game 7 where he has the record outburst. Even as a rookie, he carried a hospital Celtics team all the way to that game 7 that they should have won. But he got them there. He was the guy. It was his coming out party during that playoff run, and Jaylen too. Jaylen was good. And I mean, everybody had a role. It was a really good team display from that Celtic team. But he was the face of it. But then the year after, there was so much hype going around Tatum because of what he did that spring, and he earned everyone's respect. And that's the thing. He earned it. He deserves to have that respect. As much as I give him a hard time, the reason I give Tatum a hard time is because of the resume he has, because it is an elite resume. You expect him to do these things. You expect him to be above some of the nonsense you'll see from time to time. And to his credit, for the most part, he is. And I think that's why he gets criticized. But from a wide lens, it's not always fair to criticize him. But when you're watching all the games like the two of us, you might be like, well, look at this. It's ridiculous.
I also think like the important context to remember here is you look at playoff resume and you see no title and you're like, oh, this guy sucks or whatever. Like that's how discourse works in line. But like right now, and I'm talking about the playoffs only. I'm not saying overall better player. Tatum has a better playoff resume than Joel Embiid by a mile, right? Not even close. Better playoff resume than Devin Booker. Better than like a bunch of players. If you add one single title to Tatum, if he just wins a ring, it's better than Giannis's playoff resume. It's better than Jokic's playoff resume, and it's better than Anthony Davis's. It's better like all these players who are like, wow, yeah, these guys got to remember the best. One single ring, you just add that, and Tatum's playoff resume is eons above all of them because of all this stuff he's done. And so obviously that's the most important piece of the puzzle. Like I'm not discrediting that, but to sit here and say like, oh, he sucks because he wasn't a ring. Like that's like ring culture is dangerous, disgusting thing. And like I respect LeBron for showing the respect to Tatum. The bag of chips was funny because it was out of nowhere, but people are hard on Tatum, man. And that comes with the territory of being one of the best players in the world. And I think he recognizes that. And I think throughout the course of his career, he's gotten used to it and like accepting of it. But I think it's important to take a step back every once in a while and realize like, okay, yeah, this guy's he's pretty damn good.
That's the tough part, right? Like when you're in every game and you're like, oh, do I really think I needed to see Tatum take 10 threes? And you're like, nah, maybe not. Maybe you didn't need to see the followaways. He does show up in the big games. Like we've both written about it for Celtics blog recently. And then they had that really weird stretch where they lost to Cleveland and Denver right after we did our, hey, Tatum's really good pieces. But it's true. Like he has taken a wider, more winning-driven approach to this season.
Football season may be over, but the action on the floor is heating up. Whether it's a tournament season or the fight for a playoff home court, there's no shortage of high-stakes basketball moments this time of year. Get in on the excitement with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app, where you can turn your hoops knowledge into serious cash. Testing my skills on Prize Picks this season is the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $1,000 with just a few taps. Prize Picks is really simple to play, and I can make my picks and submit my entry in less than 60 seconds. Download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Use the code CLNS for the first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
we talked about the elite quote from LeBron here, but there was like another wrinkle to this layer segment that they were doing on Tatum where they were like, listen, he's playing the game much more carefully. He's reading the game so much better. He's taking the hard, or I forget what they said. They said he's doing a great job at being a mature player. It's pretty much what they said. But anyways, it's true. Jared Weiss did an interview with him for The Athletic last month, and it's just Tatum talking about, listen, I've had the individual recognition. I've gotten the All-Star appearances, the All-NBA selections. I want to win a championship, and if that means with all of these guys on my team, I can defer to Derek White and Drew Holiday to make the right pass while I draw the double team and they get the assist, I'm fine with that. I don't care. I just want to win. And we've seen a lot of that from him this year. Even as recent as what? The Utah game, when he had the quiet 38-point game, whatever he had in that game, and we came on here, we're like, oh my God, I didn't realize he had that many points. It's because he's not really going out there trying to make an impression on you like that. He's just letting the game come to him most of the time. And that is probably the best way to play when you have a team like this one. Why would you try and force anything? And I think that's where the majority of my frustration comes from, is when I feel like they're forcing stuff and they don't have to because of the talent. But sure, when you're one of the best in the world, you might have the little bit of an urge to take a difficult shot every once in a while. Mm-hmm. Sure.
Also, like, we talk about, and I agree with you, like there have been moments this year, like, why are you taking that shot, etc. But we get so bogged down in not only game to game, but like every single shot, every single thing he does in the court, we're like, this guy sucks. What the hell are you doing? And whenever he plays well, we don't talk about it because that's expected. Since the All-Star break, Tatum is averaging 27, 7, 5.5 on 47, 45 splits. Like, he's been insane.
45?
He's shooting 45% from three on 8 threes a game since the
All-Star break.
Yep.
This includes that West Coast trip?
This is what I'm saying. We get so caught up in like, oh, what the hell? This one bad game. He's been on a burner. Like, he has been ridiculous since the All-Star break.
That's a real stat?
Sam, I'm going to share my screen because I can tell you, like, you're being genuine.
Pull it up.
Believe me. Post All-Star break, Jayson
I can't believe that. Good for him.
45% from three on 8.3 threes a game and 47% from the field.
Wow.
He's been
I
insane.
would not have believed that for a second.
Look at this since the break. Like, look at what has been happening since the All-Star break. From three, 5 of 10, 2 of 8, 1 of 7, not great. 5 of 9, 4 of 5, 5 of 9, 2 of 5, 5 of 9, 2 for 8, 4 of 10, 4 of 8, 6 for 12. He's been sick. He's been so sick. And on top of that, look at these rebounding numbers. 7, 6, 11, 8, 3, 13, 4, 10, 5, 6. And then the assists, like, dude, he's been so good since the All-Star break. Look at these plus minus. Obviously, they lost these 2 games, which is why we're so harsh on him. But they have just been murdering teams, like, since the break. Their last 8 home wins, they've won by an average of 26 points.
Well, they should. In fairness.
Okay, they should. There's the difference between they should win versus 6 or 8, 9 game stretch now of winning by 26 points on average. That doesn't, like, that's not normal. They have the 4th best average margin victory ever. Period.
I saw. I don't like this. I don't like people putting him next to the 96 Bulls and being like, hey, look at these guys.
Do you know what I'm saying, though? Like, we were talking about, like, oh, Tatum. He's like the whole, oh, Tatum's bad from 3-point range. It's just not even close to true anymore. He is insane from 3-point range.
This feels worse than the 2-for-1 when I was watching them all and they were like, this is actually good. I cannot believe, if you're listening to this, Tatum shooting 45% from 3 from the All-Star break after what I watched on the West Coast is crazy. That should tell you all you need to know. I'm going to tweet this after we're done.
12 games.
12 games. So in half the games, you might as well have had me out there. He's still shooting 45%. That's crazy.
And you say the West Coast trip as if it was like this horrendous thing. And and we're going to include Cleveland because that was part of the road trip.
The best.
I know
the Cleveland game was good though, for what it's worth.
I'm not saying it was like perfect, but on that road trip, that 5-game road trip, he shot 44% from 3. Sam. On that road trip, he shot 44% from 3. That 5-game trip, he averaged 27, 7.5, and 5.5 on 44% from three, but only 42% from the field. So he did shoot.
You know what it was? Is that Phoenix game? He was really good from three, but he was abysmal inside the arc.
He couldn't make shots, from inside. But the 3-point shot is not the source of the problem anymore.
That's good though. I don't know if I really want him to be missing shots in the paint, but I like that he's making threes. I think for the Celtics to be at their best, he has to be making the threes.
Which is part of the reason why I'm like, okay, every once in a while, hey, taking those step backs. Because I say it to you all the time, like, he's going to have to make those if they want to be the best version of themselves. Like, the reason that he is getting doubled out there and able to create the space is because he takes those and can make those. Like, his ability to make those shots is huge for their spacing. And on top of that, we get so caught up in like, oh my God, the 45%. Like, the percentages, when you look at the raw numbers, it's like, so this is what I'm trying to say. He's making 3.8 out of his 8.3 threes post All-Star break, and that's 45%, right? And that's like this insane, like amazing number. 3.8 out of 8.3. Pre-All-Star break, it was 3.1 out of 8.4. So that 0.7 like less per game is 36%. Like that's a 10. Like we're really like that's the difference between holy shit, Tatum's the best on the planet to this guy sucks is 0.7 threes a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think wrapping it back around to the LeBron thing, everyone expects greatness, and rightfully so, because the only reason like people are so harsh on him is because they know he can be amazing, and
including me.
Exactly. And he is amazing. Yeah. And he just, I'm telling you, as soon as that one, like knock on wood, as soon as when and if he does get that hump and get the title, like the discourse around Jayson Tatum is going to be like, whoosh, like completely different forever.
I hope they get it.
Anyways, let us know your thoughts. Appreciate y'all for tuning in again. Leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. I'll let Sam wrap it up.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening or watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel with the notification bell so you don't miss any of our daily uploads. We are coming at you every single day with new content at 5 a.m. On Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, it's a full-length pod talking about all things. You have Talkin' C's Monday, Wednesday, Friday live at some point. You have game recaps the day after the games. You have pre-game streams the day of the games. And then any other day, there's something else. We'll be here. You can find us on Spotify and Apple. Follow us there. We will be putting up the audio pods and game recaps there for you, so you want to be there. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate it. You can find us via email. hbtcpod@gmail.com is the address for that. We do love when you guys reach out. And, I mean, it's dead now because we recorded yesterday, but always email. We appreciate it. You can find us on socials at How About Them C's, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. The Facebook is just the name of the pod. The streams are there. They're on YouTube, and they're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is at Jax1NBA. Mine is at Sam LaFrance. That's it for us. Bye.
Tic-tac-toe. Come on. Tackle.